Hello class, and welcome to week 3. I do sincerely hope that you've really enjoyed and had a very busy week and are ready to dive into our next session. In case you haven't noticed already, these sessions really build on top of one another, and we'll talk about that just a little bit later. But right now, just a quick announcement. One of the things that I'm noticing is that I still have a couple people that have not registered in my specific section of Test Out. So if you have not registered in my specific area of Test Out, notice I didn't say log in and set yourself up. You have to associate yourself to my class. If you go back to my previous announcements, you will see the correct code to associate yourself with me. One of the indicators is that you may not be registered in my specific section is if you're doing work and you don't see the grades come through, because I cannot see anything you do until you register to my class. So make sure you take care of that as soon as possible. Now, let's just have a quick recap, right? Last week, we were brainstorming and we were listing questions on the hardware components, and in our writing exercise, we had millennia ads. I think I said that right. Millennia ads, right? And they want you to keep track of their inventory, their sales, and their expenses digitally, right? And although I won't dot points this week, I'm looking for some of the efforts. I'm looking for some of the attempts, and I want to share some feedback based on some of the things that I'm seeing based on your recommendations. One of the greatest assets that I'm already seeing amongst us is our ability to start a conversation and start listing questions on the discussion boards, and then carry that feedback and carry that interaction into compiling a really strong list. So use that discussion board as an opportunity to really gauge some of your ideas and just some of your other classmates' ideas and putting something together. Now, one quick word, take my advice into consideration, right? Take my advice into consideration this week. If I pass on something that I'm seeing in the recommendations, utilize that when you go back and you update your drafts and your copies, right? Another thing, don't be shy in the discussion boards, right? I've heard mention of a few ideas, a few tools, a few ways that we're going about things. Don't be afraid to give more details about things that you might be thinking, or the way that you might go about trying to secure a financial institution, for example, or the way that you might go about making recommendations for an educational facility. Don't be shy on sharing those details, or even be willing to justify why you made the decisions that you made, because for some of them, I know that I did put a little bit of challenges out to some of them. And so I'm looking just for a little bit more detail, or a little bit more ideas as to why you may have made the decisions that you did, right? So let's talk about this week. So this week we kind of continue on. We're going to get into the nuts and bolts of hardware. Now, in terms of maintenance and troubleshooting, for those of you that are already in the help desk technician roles, I've been there, and there should be some great information that we perhaps will be able to put to use right away, right? Now, in my experience, the role of maintenance is pretty much the core of whatever role you decide to get into in technology. Maintenance is critical. Even at this stage of the game, as a project manager that manages different projects, I still have to maintain the projects and the things that I've already put into place, and certainly the equipment and maintenance that I've deployed. The equipment that I've deployed requires maintenance. The programs that are set up require maintenance. Maintenance is huge. Now, many believe that simply accomplishing a degree or getting certified in something should be enough to get you paid. And this is only a portion of the fact. For example, I have Active Directory folks that work right close to me, and they're not getting paid simply off of what they know, but they're getting compensated on their ability to maintain the infrastructure and the posture of all the Windows workstations. So the key in your marketability is actually the ability to keep things running, right? The book knowledge is great, the certifications will be there, but never overlook or underappreciate the hands-on experience. Now, another thing that we were mentioning before, I just want to get back to the discussion points and using those to the best of your ability. You will be submitting your recommendations through the discussion boards, and then turning those ideas and fine-tune those ideas based on responses and interactions. So we've got a lot to do this week, and I look forward to interacting with each of you on the discussion boards. If you have any problems, I know there were some issues on Test Out, please feel free to reach out to me and I'll help you out. Have an awesome week, and I look forward to interacting with you.